Alright, I have arrived. I'm back. I'm joined by my apprentice over here. They're not really doing a lot of work, but you know, at least she's not on her phone, I guess. She's not really helping, you know, just attacks me when I try to tell her what to do. But I'm back and I want to look at all the plants and see what they did. I got back last night, so I did a tiny little sneak peek into some of the boxes and saw mostly green, which is what I'm really happy about. Like nothing was fully dead except a couple things, and this gloriosum is so droopy, look at that leaf. But the new one here, I actually didn't miss it unfurling, which is great. I gave it a water last night already, so this is watered again now. But you can see like this completely gave up on existence, but that's alright. I watered that last night, so that's good. But I want to go through all the boxes, if you remember the boxes. So you can see here that these, I haven't actually opened this one yet. Or most of them I haven't opened. You can see that there's condensation and humidity, like visible humidity in like all of them, except for two. Or no, actually you can see it on the sides in those ones. So it's been very humid in there, which I'm really happy about. Oh my god! Oh my god, yes, that is so exciting. Sorry, getting a little ahead of myself. But if we look in there, actually, let me show you. Let's do it like this, I think, because then I can just show you and talk about things and I don't have to get water all over myself. So what I can already see from the outside of the box here is an aerial root, which comes from this Monstera, Jesus Christ, Boliviana? I'll put the name on the screen again, I forget it every time. But look how many fenestrations it already has here. So that's really exciting, and it attached its aerial roots to the side of the wall, which I guess is it telling me that it really needs something to climb. That's alright. Then we have this Tradescanthia, which I am not sure if it... Oh, it's molding actually. Maybe I'll just snip that off. That is not great. Where does it start here? So, well, that's alright. Happens. Sorry for the wiggling around, moving things. This is my dragon scale, which I don't know why this leaf is so short. Not entirely sure why it decided to do that. But the leaf came out at least, and it's looking beautiful. No like marks on it or anything, so that's good. We have the string of turtles, which I just assume grew, I don't know, not sure. But this is something I saw from the outside of the box already. My Hoya Australis Lisa is putting out 2 little baby leaves. Oh my god. That is so exciting. This is the first time, well, this was my first Hoya and still is my first and only Hoya. So this, and it hasn't grown, like 3 of the cuttings rotted, but this is my first successful little Hoya then, and it's the first leaves that any Hoya is giving me. And oh my god, are they adorable? They're so tiny. That is the cutest thing. Oh my goodness. It looks like, oh, sorry for the focus. My Cebu Blue put out a new leaf. Can't really see the other cutting from here. Oh, there it is. It's trying to put out another one. And this Aglaonema had just unfurled this leaf when I left. And there's already, you can peek through there, a new one on the way. So I'm gonna leave this open for now, just leave it over here I think. Moving on to another one which looks very humid. Like this is probably a bit much. If I had been here, I probably would have taken this lid off at some point. Ooh! Yes! Oh my god! Oh my god. Okay, so here's a leaf from my heartleaf philodendron, whatever. That came off, but that's alright. because it's growing. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, that's great. Sorry. Oh, this one got bigger. I can tell. This is my philodendron Birkin from my Dana shopping vlog where my friend bought a Birkin and we just took a little tiny pup that it had off of it and I kept it. And I'm pretty sure this is a new leaf. Can we like... You can sort of see here, but it put out this leaf and the new one's on the way. So now actually with that new leaf, it like overall looks a little bit bigger. It's still very tiny even in this tiny pot, but that's great. Love that. Let's start bottom. Let's start up here. So I have my watermelon Dischidia cuttings, which I'm not going to tell too much, but nothing grew here, which is fair enough. Also can't see any roots yet from the outside, which is also alright. This hasn't been in here very long. But I'm actually thinking like a humidity bin situation is going to be really good for this. So maybe I'll keep this one actually active and keep that in there. Next to that is my Micans, which seems to have put out this leaf, which is great. It's activated some aerial roots. I don't know if you can see those. There, they're just in the air. Yeah, you can see. Here as well, that's fun. Second cutting, still no new growth. Oh no, it did! This is a new leaf on the second cutting. I'm gonna put in some b-roll or pictures that I'll take after this so you can properly see that. But it seems that the second cutting actually put out a new leaf as well, which is really exciting because that hasn't grown in a really long time. So this mama leaf has put out this little baby leaf. That is so exciting. Oh, I love that the leaves on the second cutting, or like the first cutting, I guess, jeez, this is very complicated, but like the ones on the main cutting, that is like most of the leaves on here, are actually getting that like pinky, velvety sort of feel to them. My god, that's exciting. Oh my goodness, look at the bottom of it. There's a lot of roots coming out of there. But I don't see many roots on the sides. Like there's one, I guess. And there's one. But other than that, there's not really any roots I can see. So it doesn't seem to be root bound. They just went straight to the bottom, I guess, to hang out there or something. But that's really, really exciting. I'm so happy with that. Because I've been struggling with my Micans. Spoiler. Then we have this Philodendron Red Emerald, which this was the mama leaf I propagated. Then I had this leaf, and then I had this one, and now it is putting out a new leaf. You can see it shooting that off up there, which is actually, that's fun. That's really fun. I'm happy with that. So next up, my Brazil doesn't seem to have grown. Oh my goodness, this is very watered. That's not very great. It's still very heavy. It activated some aerial roots, but it doesn't seem to have grown at all, which is fine. That's great. Here we have my Manjula pothos, which put out this leaf. It was already unfurling that when I left, and it was kind of touching the ceiling of the box, which is maybe why it is a little bit weirdly shaped down here. But it's a nice variegation on there. I like that. So that's that. This is still only one cutting. I'm looking to wait until I can like properly chop this because I can't actually really see any nodes. It's like all coming from one cluster down there. So I'm gonna still wait a little bit. But that's good. That grew. Ooh, my verrucosum. So this is my Philodendron verrucosum, and look at that. Like, this is a unrelated leaf, but look at the, there is a very, very pink looking leaf coming out there. My god. And I can also see it like having activated some aerial roots that go into the soil here. I will just put b-roll because I can't be asked showing you all of this. But that's so fun. I love that, like the mama leaf. not mama leaf, but this just putting out a huge leaf is really, really exciting. Thrilled. Consider me thrilled. Then we have my, ooh, oh my goodness, my heartleaf philodendron. Ta-da. This was a new cutting I put in fairly recently, which had this leaf already, but it's unfurling another one on that cutting. Then we have this cutting here with very juvenile leaves still, but this is new. I put this out. And on the other cutting, nothing happened, which is alright, but yeah. And it's rooted out of the pot. Again, not that many roots on the side of the pot, so not really in need of a repot, but that is exciting kind of that it just did that. Happy, 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 happy. Next we have this, which I still don't know for sure what it is. I believe, yeah, the other one is a tetrasperma, so this one must be a philodendron of some kind. But it put out this actually pretty large leaf. This one right here, which is a decent size. Like, this is in a tiny pot. Maybe, well, there's no roots. Oh no, there is the start of a root. I don't know if you can see coming out there. And this is a Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, I believe. One of the two is a Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. This is why I'm saying that, because I think it's this one. But it put out this leaf, which is also a decent amount larger than the last one. You can see here. And activated some aerial roots here. And that is great, yeah. No roots coming out the bottom on this one either. But I do think that with like the next leaf, or maybe after 2 more leaves, I will give these a repot and put them in my clear square pots because they're a bit bigger. I'll link those below if anyone cares. But that is this whole box. Oh my god, it's so satisfying. Maybe I should take a thumbnail. So all that's left is the 2 really big boys. So this is number 1 with most of the exciting things in it. Let's open her up. I did open this one yesterday, but I didn't have a proper look at everything. I just opened it, looked inside, and then I closed it again. So, oh my god, okay. I don't really know where to start, so let's go bottom right here. Is a Calathea, which is fairly new still. Got this for my birthday. I don't think anything happened on this one. There's a bit of a... But, sorry, I'm talking about this plant and this leaf, which looks a bit weird, but nothing happened on this one. Right. I'm not sure how to proceed here, because if I pull all of this out, I'm gonna dribble all over my floor. I guess I can put this lid here. Yeah, that's a good idea. So actually I will pull this out again. Put it over here because I don't want that in there. Then we have a Pilea, which looks like that and didn't grow. I don't think. It hasn't grown in a while, but maybe it will, maybe it won't. That's alright with me. I have this Peperomia. Ooh. So this one really loved the humidity bin, which shouldn't be a surprise, but look, there's like, I have these bigger leaves, which were there before, I'm pretty sure. And then we have this whole cluster up here of tiny leaves. And like every branch, there's one. Here we have the same thing. And also you can see, sort of like here, for example, really long aerial roots starting. So that is really cool. I love that. And it's actually starting new branches. Again, there probably will be B-roll of this, but we'll see if I have the energy for that. But yeah. So that's that. I actually might put this one back in. So I loved it so much. We have the big boy, which is my large Begonia lucerna, which had put out this leaf before I left, and this one was already on the way. It's slightly curled at the front. You can see it's kind of like bent here. Must be like from how it was put in the box. But that's okay, I don't mind. Still hasn't really activated this, like, it has this little point of growth here. I don't know if you can even see that, it's very tiny, but it looks like it wants to put out another branch there, but it hasn't done that. I guess I should prune it probably, because people say pruning begonias is great for them. But it's actually sort of standing up straight now, which is great, because I've been wanting to put this on a bamboo pole. And that will be a lot easier when it's already standing up on its own. So, I have this guy. Oh, see, this is just so satisfying. I'm gonna pull this off. There's a dead root here. Pull that off. But this Scanaps pictus exotica, look at those fat aerial roots. Those are so large. My goodness. And it also seems to be putting out a new leaf. That's great. Also, this leaf though, maybe I'll just cut that off. I'm thinking, because it's spreading, like on this leaf specifically, it's spreading. Really hope that didn't spread to any other plants. I'm gonna just cut it off, because that's concerning. This is now like only a half leaf, but that's alright. The original leaf is still with us, which is very surprising to me personally, at least. But yeah, that's putting out a new leaf, and it hasn't grown in a really long time, so that's exciting. And big ass aerial roots are also exciting. Ooh, this is my Monstera adansonii stump, and it's put out a new leaf. It seems to be, a lot of stuff's rotting, is my consensus, to be honest. It must have been too humid, because there's like, okay, so there's this top bit you can see at the very top is moldy and black and rotten. So I'm gonna try to cut that off without ruining the new leaf. Ew. Okay, so that seemed to have worked. But that's disgusting because it's all gross and black. Okay, so I cut that off. You can see now that there's a green bit at the top. I will just show that in B-roll, but there's a new leaf, so that's fun. This seems to have survived. So, next is the little snake plant prop, which is now a permanent Leca resident. These are actually getting larger, sort of. And it's growing new bits and bobs in there, I think. So that's a good update. Ooh, okay. So, Aglaonema silver stripe has a new leaf here that's unfurling. Sorry, I'm a little bit distracted because we're getting to like the elbow and stuff. And I've been peeking over there to see if it's alright. Oh, okay. So, it's not great. So these shears have mold stuff on them, so I'm gonna take that off. Take some. Okay, so let me just show you how I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take my shears, which have just cut the Adansonii, which was slightly moldy, take some disinfectant, put it on this wipe thing, and clean these off. Because I do not want that on my Monstera albo, because who would want that? So, I mean, the roots that I can see do look good. But there is this bit of stem that was moldy that I just pulled off. And then there's also this bit here that seems to be molding. But this is not the node itself, so that's alright. Ooh, I'll just chop that. That seems to have not fully done the trick. There's a root up here that holds the main part of the root system. There's this aerial root here. You can't really see it because it's brown, but it feels firm. So I will take that as a good sign because I'm worried and I need a good sign. Ooh, yeah, that's better. All right, so I cut a bit more of that stem and now you can see it there. Yeah, it's green, so that's good. Technically, I could also just cut this top bit, the plant itself. It has nodes down there and aerial roots, but I don't really want to do that. So, I mean, it's going out of this super humid environment now anyways, so whatever. In terms of leaves, there doesn't seem to be a new one. There's only this one that already came out last time. It's slightly like browned on the side here. I'm not sure why it did that. If anyone knows why it could have done that, would love some info. But the roots that I can see look good, and yeah, that's the elbow. Definitely pulling that one out there. Lol. Okay. Or maybe it has a pest. Let's check. I don't see anything pesty, but who knows. So next is the Syngonium mojito that isn't mine, the one from my friend I've been babysitting for ages, which put out this leaf with a really, really long stem. Like you can see here, this was the last one done here, and it's put this out like all the way up here. Don't know why it's done that, but it also has the new leaf, another one on the way. This seems to just be happy, and it is rooting outside the bottom. That's great. In terms of my one, alright, we have great roots rooting out of the bottom, if you can see. But there is this new leaf which just yellowed and seems to be pretty dead, so I'm gonna just rip that. Okay, maybe I'll cut it. I don't seem to be able to rip it, so I'm gonna cut it. So that was the new growth point, which is kind of sad because now it's gonna have to work on another growth point. But this one is sort of new, I think, and it's also unfurling this still. I don't know. This was the thing where I just put out like 50 leaves at the same time, but I don't think this will struggle to put out a new growth point. It should be fine. And the leaves look healthy, so I think we're good. And then the last one is my Syngonium albo, which really is my pride and joy. Ooh, look at that juicy root curling around the bottom. Nice. So this seems pretty happy. Yeah, this seems fine. And there is a new leaf here on the second cutting, which had only put out this leaf, which was very white, but now it's put out this one with a pretty balanced green to white ratio. Very marbled variegation, beautiful. Yeah, there's not a next one coming yet, but that's all right. I'm thinking. So that one looks good. That looks great, actually. Woo, thank God. Maybe I'll put that in here again. My room's a mess, but we have one more box to go through with the big ones, so maybe I will just move you over there. Let's do that. Alright, the last box only has a little bit of humidity up here, or condensation, I guess you should say. This is the one where none of them got watered right before I left, or pretty much none of them. Oh, look at those aerial roots, those are so fat. Oh my god, okay. Oh, I kind of want to pull that out and just look at it properly. Maybe I will. I'll show you later, whatever. So it did have, yeah, this is a new leaf on this one. Ooh, that's a very nice and juicy leaf. That's great. Actually, you can't see anything else. I'm going to move that one out. I've just moved her back to her spot, and now you can see this And these really fat and fluffy, juicy roots. There is on this bit some mold where I cut it, but it doesn't seem to have moved fast, so I'm just gonna clean that off. Look at the fuzziness of them. My goodness, and it is starting a new leaf already. That's great. You are incredibly loud, Miss Ma'am. Alright, anyways, there's the water props in here, which, oh yay! So the Aglaonema silver stripe seems to have rooted, Adansonia rooted more, peace lily. There's some Tradescanthia in here that seem to have rooted quite well. That seems to be an overall success. So, Begonia lucerna babies have grown a new leaf. That is good news. This is my Scindapsus pictus argyraeus. This is new. And then other than that, I think this is putting out a new one, this cutting. This other one. I can't really, oh, there's some aerial roots there you can see. I can't honestly tell where even the end of this vine is, so whatever. Don't know if that one put out anything. This one we can see aerial roots again. So again, if you want to promote aerial root growth in your plants, just chuck them in a bin for 2 weeks and you'll get glorious aerial roots. I really don't know if this is a new leaf. I don't think so, but it's putting out the next one there. This one seems new. And this one does too. So that's great. Positive news in this one, nothing seems moldy. And that's basically everyone. We have the Pilea here actually. Oh, seems to have dropped a leaf. It's good to know. But over here, and it's growing, sort of. But they seem to be dying off all the time. But this is a lot of little leaves, so I'm gonna just water this. And hope that it does well. So this guy really needs to be dusted, but it is growing. So yeah, love that. Alright, so some of the ones that I brought home now, the spider plant I already just put in some water. Don't know if I even showed that. And then there's this little jungle cactus cutting. It doesn't have any roots, but I'm gonna pop it in some soil because that's what's worked best for me with propagating cacti before. And then I have this Maranta lemon lime, which is looking to be struggling a bit. It's pushing out a new leaf as well. I had to take this out of the pot and rinse off the roots and stuff because, you know, flying and stuff. Couldn't really have it in the pot, and also I'm not sure if that's even allowed. So I took it out, and now this is what it's looking like. I mean, it doesn't look great, but the roots look healthy, so I'm thinking I will just pot this. Fuck, I think that's maybe rotting. Maybe I should cut this top bit off and reroot it. And this one as well. See, I'm not sure if these are nodes, these little bits. But I think I might do that and then pot the bottom up anyways, just because it feels a bit squish and I'm worried about that. So I'm gonna take my little snippies, cut under this leaf, maybe a little, oh, well, I already dented it here now, and then cut under this leaf as well, like that. This already has an aerial root, that's great actually, look at that. So I have this bottom stump, which I will plant anyways, but it does have a concerning amount of squish to it, so do with that what you will. And I clean these off, sort of, I guess. So I need 2 pots for the stump, whoops, and for the jungle cactus. So I'll pot those straight into soil. With the other two, I mean, they are also curling a lot, so I'm thinking if I just pop these in water, they will actually appreciate that. See, I don't know why the stem looks like that here. Look, it's all yellow. I don't think that's great. Maybe I should cut a bit off more. Where did it go here? Yeah, that looks a lot better. I cut a bit more off of this because the cut didn't look great. It was all yellowy. And I'm worried about it. Hee hee. So I've actually decided, because I have this monstera here, right? Should probably check what it is before I do this, but whatever, I can't be asked. Which is very long, leggy, right? The plant basically starts up here, and we have all of that down there. And now from putting it in the humidity bin, it has this aerial root, and this beautiful leaf. Gonna highlight that again. Maybe some sunlight. Wow. I put this chopstick in here because I was gonna just put it up there like this, like put this to this, but I've decided that because I have this aerial root, I want to air layer this, and I've never air layered anything before, so I'm gonna just do that, put something around it, and then just fasten it to this, so that I can at some point have just this top bit as a plant, you know? So I'm gonna do that, and you can witness me probably struggle because I've never done that before. Let's go. Alright, so this is what I have. It's a bit ugly, obviously, and these little wire things I used to put it, or like secure it on here, were way too short, but we have some sort of situation. So it's secured to the chopstick, sort of. It's not very secure, you can see. No, you can't see, but whatever. I tried, okay? Yeah, I tried. And even if that doesn't work, this will be happy being on this chopstick, hopefully. So that's that one done. Love that. Alright, so everything is back where it belongs. I've kind of sorted everything back into the shelves. Everyone is growing. It's been a few days, You can see here, tiny little update on that guy. The very Kosum leaf, beautiful. The Hoya is back in its original spot. I reorganized a little bit, like things aren't exactly as they were before I left, but I felt like it was a pretty good opportunity to do that. I have the string of turtles in the front here now so that I hopefully pay more attention to it so it can thrive a bit more. But yeah, that's basically going to be the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. It's been a bit of a long one, but there will be some plant chores coming up because there's still quite a bit for me to do. I'm gonna start fertilizing as well because spring is coming, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, all that if you want to, and check out the first part of this video where I prepped everything, and there's a bit more of that travel vlog type stuff in there if you want to see any of that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Really big and gorgeous.